You are welcome to LFN What's Your Say? Clearly your number one listening show, where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name, Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. Prosecutors drew parallels between Sean Diddy Combs and wrongfully convicted King of R&B R. Kelly during an intense 2-hour bail hearing in Manhattan federal court on Friday. The hearing was attended by Diddy's family members including his children and mother, Janice Combs, and ended with the presiding judge reserving judgment. A decision on whether the rap mogul can remain free on bail ahead of his trial is expected later next week. Diddy has been in custody since his arrest on September 16 after being accused of running a years-long pattern of physical and relational abuse. Diddy's trial is slated to begin on May 5. At the hearing, Diddy requested to post a $50 million bond and remain under home confinement in a 3-bedroom apartment on Manhattan's Upper East Side. However, prosecutors argued against granting bail, alleging that Diddy has continued to obstruct justice by contacting witnesses and victims from jail, and thus undermining trust in his compliance with court orders. The bail discussion has reignited debates about the judicial system's ability to balance fairness and accountability for high-profile defendants. The comparison to Michael Jeffries, the former Abercrombie & Fitch CEO who was released on $10 million bail, added another layer of complexity. Diddy Combs' defense team cited Jeffries' case to argue that their client deserved equal treatment under the law. It is interesting that prosecutors dismissed the comparison, vaguely highlighting fundamental differences between the two cases. Jeffries, who is now 80 years old, allegedly ceased his criminal activities a decade ago and presented evidence of medical conditions that influenced the court's decision to grant him bail. Diddy Combs, on the other hand, is accused of ongoing and recent misconduct, including attempts to interfere with witnesses while in custody. Assistant United States Attorney Christy Slavic emphasized the parallels between Diddy Combs' behavior and that of R. Kelly and Keith Raniere, both of whom were denied bail due to their alleged continued pattern of violence and intimidation. These cases are much more comparable, Your Honor, Slavic argued. The case underscores the role that wealth and celebrity status can play in the justice system. Critics have long argued that affluent defendants often enjoy privileges such as access to high-powered legal teams, and the ability to post exorbitant bail amounts which are out of reach for average defendants. Diddy Sean Combs' ability to propose a $50 million bond raises questions about whether such financial resources could be used to influence witnesses or disrupt the judicial process. Prosecutors pointed to alleged attempts by Diddy Combs to contact victims and witnesses from jail as evidence of his willingness to use his wealth and influence to his advantage. Conversely, defense attorneys argue that the very wealth and prominence that prosecutors criticize should not be used to penalize Diddy Combs. Combs' lawyer Mark Agnifilo stated that his client has a right to due process and should not be prejudged based on public perception or the allegations themselves. This is not about wealth or celebrity, but this is solely about fairness, Agnifilo insisted during the rather contentious hearing. These serious allegations against Sean Combs have subsequently drawn significant public attention, given his status as one of hip-hop's most successful entrepreneurs. Prosecutors allege that since 2009, Combs has orchestrated a series of elaborate, drug-fueled events known as freak-offs, where victims were subjected to coercion, physical abuse and sexual exploitation. The defense maintains that the encounters were consensual and contends that the accusations are financially motivated. Diddy Combs has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, claiming that his accusers are seeking to exploit his wealth and fame for personal gain. This argument taps into a larger societal debate about the nature of consent and the power dynamics at play in relationships involving influential figures. Critics of the defense's argument point out that consent is difficult to establish when there are significant disparities in power, wealth and influence. The charges against Diddy Combs represent yet another high-profile case in the wake of the #MeToo movement, which has brought increased scrutiny to powerful figures accused of misconduct. Supporters of the movement argue that cases like this highlight the need for accountability, regardless of the defendant's wealth or celebrity. At the same time, the movement has faced criticism for what some of us perceive as a lack of due process for accused individuals. Defense teams often argue that the media frenzy surrounding such cases can lead to a presumption of guilt before a fair trial is conducted. For the alleged survivors, the case is a possible reminder of the alleged barriers they face in seeking justice, particularly against wealthy and well-connected defendants. Advocates stress the importance of creating a judicial environment where victims feel safe to come forward without fear of retaliation or disbelief. As Judge Arun Subramanian deliberates on the bail application, legal experts are closely watching for a decision that could set a significant precedent. If Diddy Combs is granted bail, it could raise questions about the consistency of bail rulings in cases involving wealthy defendants. Conversely, a denial could signal a shift toward prioritizing accountability over privilege, even for prominent figures like Diddy. The case also shines a spotlight on systemic issues within the justice system, including disparities in how defendants are treated based on their socioeconomic status. As public interest grows, the case has become a litmus test for how the courts balance fairness, accountability, and the presumption of innocence. Observers anticipate that the judge's decision will have far-reaching implications not only for Diddy Combs, but for the broader public perception of the judicial system. Whether or not Combs is granted bail, the case underscores the complexities of pursuing justice in a world where wealth and influence can shape outcomes in profound ways. R. Kelly's story is a perfect example of the complexities that come with celebrity, fame, and scandal. His musical achievements cannot be denied as he reshaped the sound of R&B and pop music for decades. However, his personal life has been marred by allegations that have cast a long shadow over his artistic contributions. The public debate surrounding R. Kelly illustrates how difficult it is to separate an artist's personal life from their art. For some, his music will forever be tied to the controversy, while for others it remains a testament to his talent and influence. Regardless of which side of the debate you fall on, one thing that remains clear is that R. Kelly's legacy is deeply complicated, and it raises critical questions about justice, fame, and the way we process celebrity in the modern world. Thanks for watching this video, a production of LFN Media, giving you another perspective of issues at hand. We make it our business to keep you updated with the truth amidst the cloud of lies the media wants you to believe. It is therefore important that you subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon, and allow all notifications so that you don't miss out whenever we publish a new video.